And hello everyone, it's Nick here. I've been reviewing games on the channel now for almost 2 years, first starting reviewing Commodore Amiga games, a warm computer from my childhood, so I thought why not look at the first 50 games I reviewed, and why not? It's a trip down memory lane, hopefully it gives you some warm feelings, and you should see, I hope, some games that were your favourite back in the day, so let's take a look. IRONMAN Stewart's Super Off-Road. Now this was the first game I ever reviewed on the Commodore Amiga when I was doing the talkies, but this is a great game. My sound wasn't too good on this one, so we might revisit it. But basically you're off-road and there's various courses to qualify on, lots of upgrades to get, and it's heaps of fun, multiple player if you've got multiple joysticks. Really like this one, a good one. The nitros help as well. Basically, oh here we go, the Great GIANA sisters. This is a classic. Based very heavily on Super Mario, but you've got power-ups with your big hair there. You can fire, get rebounds, multiple stages. A cool theme track. The Great GIANA sisters. Come out on iOS, I think, a version. Not quite like this, but wasted a lot of my time on this game. SPEEDBALL by the Bitmap brothers. Now this game could go on forever. It was always greens versus the reds, but various different teams. It's futuristic football sort of fighting, really. Very tinny in sound. Early game. Woo. And it goes on to Speedball 2, which is much advanced over the original there. Same premise, you're in a league or cup match, you can collect coins to upgrade your players, with like mine powers, throw-in power. There's multiple scores in the system along the side and also stars you can hit for bonus points. A really good game. This one is a classic, might even feature in my top 10 of all time on the Commodore Amiga. Great graphics on this. SWIV, or Silkworm 4, always causes arguments how to even pronounce this game, which means the developers didn't do a very good job in their marketing. But this is a very arcadey looking game. You control this helicopter. You can collect upgrades for your weapons, but I was never very good at that stage, and quite often I'd stay on this one missile. But it's unlimited weapons, which you don't find in any normal helicopter. I also reviewed SILKWORM 1 for the first one, but did them out of order, so put these up in the order that we did them. Now, Stunt Car Racer might be my favourite racing game of all time on the Commodore Amiga. There's a few to choose from. But basically, you're versus the computer on various tracks, but the undulation on this and the feeling of reality is huge. Also come out on the ZX Spectrum, I believe, but a great game this by the legendary Jeff Crammond, and he certainly knew how to do a racing game. Oops, and we bashed off the track. IK Plus. Play this a lot when you used to get home from school. I'm the white man there, or the white coloured man before I get into PC trouble. But numerous stages on this. You're fighting two guys to get points. And there's mini games in the middle as well, where you have to block flaming shields and so forth. And defuse bombs, don't forget that. So a lot of classic games in the first 50 I reviewed. You're sure to remember a few of these if you're a Amiga man. Or woman, LOTUS Turbo ESPRIT Challenge by Gremlin Graphics. Now, you know, when you're talking about awesome racing games, this is pretty much it. Loads and loads of tracks in here. Easy, medium and difficult settings, or hard. Must come in the top 10 each time in this championship to progress. Every other car's a Lotus and it's white. The two players good, but one player it's always in split screen. See down the bottom there, that would be where player 2 lives if he was here, but he is not. Test drive! Who could forget these long trips in the mountains? 5 or 6 stages on this one, where you must get from A to B without dying or crashing. The windscreen smashes into pieces, well, a big crack if you crash into the scenery or off the mountain or into oncoming traffic. But this is a Porsche 911. There's a choice of many different cars in this, and the dashboard is absolutely lovely. Lotus Turbo 2 takes it a little bit further, but it's a lot easier than Lotus 1, that's for sure. I mean, you crash into something, you just bounce off rather than coming to a standstill. Here we go. Boom. There's a timer counting down rather than competing in positions, coming in the top 10. Time runs out, you've had it, but added a rain stage and a very up stage. Now this is brilliant. Check out the music. Ghost and Goblins, an arcade conversion. Play this first on the ZX Spectrum, but this Commodore Amiga version is absolutely brilliant. I love it. Look at the colours, very classic looking game. A great conversion from the arcades. They done an awesome job with this one. Really, really like it. Really brilliant. Got a few arcade conversions coming up in a row here, but couldn't have done much better with this one. There's Sir Arthur. Getting clobbered by that demon in a minute. Super Hang On, one of the big daddies from the arcades. Now we can do some boosting along this straight. Here we go, boost. But you must compete through various checkpoints, various difficulty levels in this one. If you hit any of the other bikers, you lose speed. But time runs out, then you've had it. Super Hang On, played this on multiple systems. Amiga one isn't my favourite, but it's still good. Great feeling of retroness, this one. Your Move, Creep, from the arcades, ROBOCOP. It's not a bad conversion, but it's a little bit tricky. I've only ever completed it with the cheat mode on. Come with me, or there will be trouble. Love the ROBOCOP music on this. Classic action, takes me back to being a kid. OCP, not TCP. That is the well, that's something else, isn't it? Your Move, Sheep, Creep. Hard Driving 2, Drive Harder. Now, as the sequel to Hard Driving from the arcades, what did it bring to you that Hard Driving didn't? Well, not much really. It had a track editor on it, which was good, but it's very easy to damage the disc on this because of the protection system. But a racing game you control with a mouse. I'm not a fan of that. It was okay, but could have been a lot better. It's essence of Hard Driving, but yes. Super Monaco Grand Prix. Not much like the arcades at all, this Amiga version. The graphics is comical by the sides, but for the era it come out, I let it off. It plays well, it's good fun. Does it play well? Well, yeah. It's alright for the time. Scenery doesn't move much in the background. Super Monaco Grand Prix come out on some systems as Ayrton Senna's Monaco Grand Prix. Not much like Monaco, to be honest. Now another beauty, Test Drive 2, the Duel. It was a Porsche 911 versus a Ferrari F40 or vice versa. Multiple stages, but also come out Scenery Disc, California Challenge and European Challenge. A Supercars Disc, which gave you a lot of the cars from Test Drive 1. And also the muscle cars from 50s and 60s Dodges and stuff. But yeah, spend lots of time on this. Frame rate isn't brilliant for today's standards, but an awesome game back in the day. Run for it, Marty! Back to the Future Part 2. I think I got this with the original bundle on my Commodore Amiga. Not the greatest game in the world, it's got several flaws. It's very difficult, but if you like Back to the Future, it does bring you some of the film aspects to it. Could have been a lot better, to be honest with you, but it's okay. A middling game. The Back to the Future music makes it for me. Here's Biff. The final instalment of the Lotus trilogy, Lotus 3, the ultimate challenge. It should have been called Lotus 2B, I think, because it wasn't a big step up from Lotus 2. It uses the same engine. One of the advantages was it had a couple of extra tracks, futuristic in the mountains and this mud one. Yes, but really it's the desert one reskinned. Also had Rex where you could design an unlimited amount of courses, really, by putting in codes. Yeah. Striker! Now don't be put off with the flickering of this. There was loads of football games on the Commodore Amiga. This one always used to flicker a lot for me and do my eyes in, but other people have loaded it without the flickering, so maybe I had a dodgy disc or something. But it was okay, but not my favourite football game by a long way. It's quite comical, actually. The World Cup, about 96, or a lot of teams to select anyway in this one. Striker. MICROPROSE Grand Prix Formula 1. For a long time, this was the best racer you could possibly get. Jeff Crammond again. All 16 races of the then championship were reflected. You can edit the drivers' names. Frame rate wasn't too bad. On an Amiga 1200 it was a lot quicker than this. But such was its popularity, people did editor discs where you can edit the cars to create your own season. Brilliant game, brilliant game, lots of sequels. Golden Axe from the arcades. You can choose any one of 3 playable characters, Thunderdorf, this bloke, and some rather attractive woman. But come out on just about everything Golden Axe. On the Amiga it wasn't too bad, I quite liked it. You can control magic and stuff, great in 2-player, a little bit easy in 2-player it has to be said, but an awesome game. Spent lots of time on this one and was one of my favourite ones. I've never played a bad version of Golden Axe, I'm sure there must be one. The first Silkworm game, Silkworm 4 as you saw before, was a vertical shooter. This is a 2D shooter, and although this one's more basic than that to follow, I did prefer this one. It's classic action really. Can't beat classic action done well. Gorgeous graphics, a really good game. Good. And I love the effects of this shooting as well. Boom! I prefer this to R-Type also, which I'll come to in this 50 that we did. Kickoff 2, they don't come much bigger than this one. My favourite football game of all time on the Commodore Amiga, and probably of all time on any system really. Even better than FIFA. Kickoff 2 World Cup 90. This isn't the World Cup mode I'm playing here. There was a friendly you could do to get the hang of things. I think they're in Arsenal's colours versus I don't know what other colours they are there. But had after touch and all manner of things. This game is absolutely super duper awesome. We did play a lot of good games in this bit. Pac-Mania. The first time Pac-Man come to 3D. Various different mazes. I think this is this Sandbox World? I'm not quite sure. There we go, you can eat the ghost. I don't need to explain Pac-Man to you, but this has also come out on iOS and various other systems since. Good, a nice fun game, not much to it. Got a lot of pick up and play value. Flying Shark. First played this on the ZX Spectrum, where it's all a bit yellow. The Amiga adds lots of colour to it. It plays well. It's a good shooter. One of the better ones, it has to be said. I've included most of the box work when I can find it by the side there, so you can get a bit of a nostalgia there. If you played any of these games or you got a favourite, comment below. As I say, we'll probably do games 51 to 100 after this at some point, but they take a while to put together these. But Flying Shark, good game. Nitro. Lots and lots of tracks, and this included a night stage, controls really well. A choice of different cars, although the manoeuvrability doesn't seem to make too much of a difference. By collecting coins you can buy upgrades in the store. A rather cool game this one too. Much better than the next one we're going to have a look at, that's for sure. This is how a top-down game races should be done. Doesn't move too fast. A few top-down races. Right, now, this is Hot Rod, which is a bit earlier. This is from the arcades, but apart from the music, I don't like this game very much. It's a bit clumsy, the graphics are very basic indeed. It controls badly. But anyway, would have entertained you for a little bit. If you'd paid full price for this game, you would have been annoyed. Yeah, it's pretty hopeless. It's poor, even for the era. Hot Rod. Some people would have liked it though. Horses for courses. Another top-down shooter, this one's from the arcade. 1943, the Battle of Medway. It's a pretty accurate conversion of the arcades, I think. Not too much as lost. Lots of fun here, power-ups as you'd expect. I do like these World War shooters. Was 1943 like this? I'm not absolutely sure. But it looks nice. Looks nice on the Commodore Amiga. Good music playing all the way through as well, which always helps build the atmosphere. A bit more of a sedately game, Arcade Pool by the great Team 17, who played a lot of games here, or made a lot of games. This was on the budget label, not much to it, but a number of options, championship, I think you can change the base colour and do various bits and pieces. It's competent, the table doesn't look like the standard size pool table, it looks a bit too square, but yeah, it's good mechanics on this one, good programming, you'd have to admire this one. MICROPROSE Golf. I only bought this game on the strength of how good MICROPROSE Formula 1 was back in the day. But this one is good as well. Come on 4 discs. Number of clubs to select there. Win to compete against as well. There might have been some additional course discs that come out as well, but I only had the discs that originally come with it. I'm not sure if there was a course editor, but if there was, that would have been a good boon. But yeah, holds together really well. XENON. Now this shoot 'em up, you can select either this ship I'm using at the moment, or a tank, a ground-based tank. Although graphically this game is good for the era, it does move a bit slow compared to most. It feels like I'm playing this in slow motion. Look, yawn. Compared to the Battle of Medway we saw and Flying Shark, this one is just crawling along. Sometimes it's a bit awkward to get out of the way of firepower. XENON 2 had a great music track which I have had to take off because of maybe copyright issues. This one moves a bit quicker, gorgeous graphics, a bit of an underwater theme, although it is in space. Either love or hate this game. I prefer it with the cheat mode on because it is ridiculously difficult. But I liked it. I'm a champion of this one. People say it's overrated. Well, maybe a little bit. But yeah, it is good. Multiple stages, upgrades available from a store. Commando, again from the arcades, much easier on the ZX Spectrum because the fire rate was a lot longer, but it's a good conversion this one, a bit of a tricky game, but you play this Commando as you go through several stages, ending in a fortress each time at the top where you must shoot absolutely everyone. Why he's shooting everyone, we never ever find out. Maybe they called him a nincompoop or something and he just couldn't handle it. Die! Now this moves really fast. VROOM, a Formula 1 racer. A number of tracks on this game. Also had a data disc you could buy separately. It takes quite a long time to master this. The car's pretty slippery, but the frame rate is absolutely awesome. Maybe even quicker than LOTUS ESPRIT Challenge itself, which was great in the day. But yeah, this game is absolutely fantastico. So not many stinkers in this first 1 to 50, I can tell you, apart from Hot Rod. Jet Set Willy come also with a, or 2 I should say, come also with a demo Manic Miner on it. An obvious recreation of a ZX Spectrum game, and that's where it should have stayed. Although I think this game is interesting, if you had a ZX Spectrum as a Commodore Amiga game, it doesn't really work. ZX Spectrum Classic works because it's on the ZX Spectrum, had music playing when I was a rich man, this doesn't. So interesting, but not brilliant, I would say. Battle Chess. Now this game was great fun, even if you weren't into chess. The animations of the characters bring it to life really. Whenever they one player one pawn or piece takes another piece, you've got a great animation fight scene. We'll see this rook now as we're castling go across. But could bring a kid into chess quite well. So nothing much to it, but really nicely done. It's chess and it's fun. The first of the Supercars games by Gremlin. All the sounds of, well, just lifted from Lotus 1, which is a bit lazy, but they're car sounds anyway, so why not? Didn't have any weapons in this game. Moved a little bit slow, but gets quicker later on. It's a good game. It's a good game. It leaves Hot Rod in the shade. I prefer Nitro out of the 2, but this had its following as well. Had a sequel to Supercars 2, which I think we'll come to. Hunter! Now this was fantastic. This is the first open world exploration game I ever played. This guy's in the military, has several missions to do on the massive map. There's loads of vehicles you can drive, tanks, jeeps, windsurfing, boats, hovercrafts, the lot. Really fun game this one. Really well done. If we take this speedboat here, there's sharks that will attack you, enemies that will fire missiles at you. Pang, the Japanese sort of game from the arcades. Yeah, this is like, you could call this a puzzle game. Using your weapons and any power-ups you collect, you have to destroy all the balloons before the time runs out. Not one of my favourite games this one, but a nice puzzle game put together well, really nice graphics. Well worth big enough if you can get it cheap enough. Yes, very Japanesey. Supercars 2, a small evolution over Supercars 1. The graphics are ever so slightly better, but the advantage this one has over its predecessor is you've now got a variety of weapons, forward missiles, back missiles, the lot really. Landmines you can put down, but the sounds are again the same. It's more of the same fare as Supercars 1. If you like Supercars, you'd like this one. But it's more like a data disc rather than an evolution, I would say. A small evolution. This is a great game. F17 Challenge by Team 17. They didn't have the Formula 1 license. They had to make it Formula 1-esque without being Formula 1. So it's got the tracks there, although they're not exact recreations of the original tracks. But that doesn't matter really, because it's great fun. It was a budget game. You would have got a lot for your money here. A choice of cars you can have, different modes. Really done well, clean graphics, nice sound. I can't praise this one highly enough. Overlooked a lot. ROBOCOP 2! Graphics are much better and sound is much better than ROBOCOP 1 from the arcades. This was never in the arcades, but it's too difficult. It's one of these games where the enemy keep respawning and that really lets it down. It makes it a lot more tricky than it really should be. Quite a good game with the cheat mode on, but you don't want to play a game with the cheat mode on the whole time because that's some cheating. Yes, ROBOCOP 1 all the way, although this would look nice. Prince of Persia, one of the early games. It's a puzzle game. One of the first Amiga games that captured real body movements there, really smooth animation. But set over different levels, you have to get to the exit each time and not fall on spikes like that. Ooh. Yeah, Prince of Persia still going strong today, I think, on the modern day consoles. But a bit of a head scratcher, this one. 60 minutes left, it says. Now we're into the big daddy of the shooters, R-Type. This shifted, well, I'd imagine hundreds of thousands, if not millions of copies. Really done well on the Commodore Amiga here. The speed is good, the animation is good. It's a little bit difficult, but I say that all shoot 'em up, so it's probably about normal, really. Great music, really draws you in. Bit of iconic narrow passageways here that you'll always remember. R-Type. 4D sports driving. It was supposed to be a mixture, this game, of Test Drive 2, which I'm a fan of, and hard driving. Does it do those both? Well, sort of. I got a bit of play out of it, but it's not either one thing or another. It's easier to control than hard driving. It was okay, but in the end of the day, yeah, there seemed to be something missing on this, but it was okay. Choice of cars, which was good, but a certain rip-off of hard driving more than Test Drive 2, I would say. Sensible Soccer. There was a big battle to see which was better, this or Kickoff 2. I fell in the Kickoff 2 camp, but this was heaps of fun as well. Sensible World of Soccer, to give it its proper name. Lots of revisions. This was 95-96 that I played, as we have France versus San Marino, and I still can't score. 1-0. 1-0. But passing was a lot easier than this than Kickoff 2, that is for definite. You can play any team in the whole world. R-Type 2 looks a bit like R-Type 1. Plays a bit like R-Type 1 as well. I'm guessing cash-in here. R-Type 3 didn't come out on the Commodore Amiga to my knowledge. Come out on the Game Boy Advance though. Right, same sort of idea. If you liked R-Type 1, you would like R-Type 2. Diddly-lee. Zoom kaboom kablamo. Body blows. Now I preferred this to Street Fighter 2 on the Commodore Amiga, but this wasn't without its flaws as well. It does look a bit cut and pasty, but you can select a number of different characters, go around the world as per usual, fighting different people, including this jiu-jitsu bloke, which is a bit he moves a bit fast. By Team 17 again, this.
Special technique.
Special technique. All the players say something different when they win a game. Over 4 discs. Not bad at all. And then come Body Blows Galactic, which uses virtually the same, if not exactly the same fight engine. So it's a bit of a con there. But this time you're going around the whole universe fighting people. There's more players in this one, so you did get a bit extra. I was more into the original Body Blows than this. It's got Junior, who we saw fighting before, but in the space outfit. This is Laser versus Puppet, whoever they are. Who are they? I don't know. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And this is the 50th game we reviewed. It's Double Dribble. It's a basketball game. I think this may have come from the arcades. I'm not sure. Boof. I always found this a little bit hard to control, to be 100% honest. But you could have a league. It's not in the reign of NBA basketball, is it, by a long way? But it's good fun nonetheless. Well, I only play it for a little while, otherwise I get a bit annoyed, really. Double Dribble. So there we go. I hope you liked having a look at those ones, 1 to 50. Comment what your favourite one so far is below. We'll probably look at 51 to 100 coming soon. So thanks for watching as always. Until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye.